Hi everyone, welcome back to the course of Essentials of Object-Oriented Design and Programming. So we are in the module Inheritance in C++. Last session we discussed about hierarchical inheritance with the example code, and in this session we'll be discussing hybrid inheritance in C++. So hybrid inheritance is the combination of any two inheritance which we discussed in the earlier, maybe the combination of single, multiple, multi-level and hierarchical. So a combination of any above said any two of the above said is making the hybrid inheritance. So minimum should be it's a mix of two or more above said types. Actually, check out this example diagram. Class A is inherited to class B and C, and class B and C inherited to the class D. So if you take the upper part A, B, C alone, ignoring the, wait a minute, yeah. So take the upper part ignoring the class D. So A only considering class A, B, C. So it is the hierarchical inheritance. So single class is inherited to the more than one base class. So that is hierarchical. So if you ignore the class A, considering the B, C, D, the lower part, so it is a multiple inheritance. So multiple base classes inherited to the class D. So hierarchical and multiple. So if we ignore C, class C, A, B, D is a multi-level inheritance. By the way, you can ignore the class B. Also, you can get the ACD as a multi-level inheritance, right? So if we ignore C and D, it could be acting as a single inheritance. So all four types of inheritance can be possible in this hybrid inheritance. Okay, so let us see the syntax. Yeah, class A is the base class inherited to the class B and the class C. So refer the diagram. So class A is inherited to the class B and class C. So class B public A and class C colon public A. So class A is inherited to the B and C, and the last one, class D is inherited from B and C. So class D public B comma public C. So that is a derived class. So the same example given in the simple member function and member data. So class A is a single base class. It is having a member data x and y and get data member function. Read the x and y from the terminal. End of the class. So class A is over. Class A is inherited to B, B and C, right? So B and C. So coming back, class B inheriting class A in a public mode. Similarly, class C, public A. So class B and C inheriting the class A in a public access mode, which means all the public members of class A is inherited to the class B and the class C. So it is available in this public part of class B. It is also available in the public part of class C, which means for product, the X and Y values are taken from the base class A. Similarly, for some X and Y values are taken from the base class X and Y. Coming to the last class, class D. So go to the diagram. Class D is inheriting from class B and C, multiple base classes. So class D colon public B comma public C, multiple base classes. Okay. So because of the through B and C, class A is inherited in both the classes. Through any of this way, X and Y is available in the class D. So two times actually, the class A is inherited two times to the class D through one through B, one through C. So two times it is going to be inherited. So with division, it needs X and Y. So it is available in the public part of class D through the B and the C. Okay, so now end of the class. So four classes are defined. Coming to the main function, so you have to create an object for last derived class D, and you can call all the member functions because all the member functions are inherited to the class D. Okay, create the object for the derived class D, call all the member function. So these get data belong to class A, and product belong to class B, sum belong to class C, and division belong to class D. So altogether with the one derived object, you can call all the base class function. So this is the simple way of explaining hybrid inheritance working, you can apply the same logic for any real world scenario like banking, which I said in the previous inheritances. Okay, so that is the end of the hybrid inheritance. Thank you.